Hey, what is going on there, legendary marketer? This is Dave Sharpe, and welcome to the Wake Up Legendary Call. I am excited to bring you today's guest. We're going to jump right into things. We're going to tell a little bit about his story here, but I want to hear from him. This is a guy who works and coaches and advises many of our clients on how to really, first and foremost, develop the sort of make the leap from employee to entrepreneur, or if they're not starting, how to start over in their business. And I can tell you that this guy's got a ironclad mentality or mindset. He's also got one of the best attitudes and one of the best work ethics and one of the best abilities to be able to persevere and stay consistent. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Ricardo Rodriguez. What's up, my man?
What's happening?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Awesome.
I hear an echo. Can you hear echo?
I don't hear an echo. I think that's on your side.
I think I'm that good that you hear me twice.
Yeah, no, I think you're a legend in your own mind, so you hear yourself twice. Let me check with the crew. Do we sound good, guys, across all platforms? We'll just do a quick sound check. And hey, if we sound good, down in the comments, let us know. Hey, what's going on? Good morning to all
Yeah.
you legendary marketers out there. If you're hearing us loud and clear, maybe you're still in bed, maybe you're going to bed, maybe you're in the middle of your day, because we have people all over the world here. Drop us a hello down in the comments and say what's up. Okay, we're gonna jump into this because I want to hear from Ricardo. This is a guy who really is, he's been in the trenches for a long time. I like people who are in the trenches. Okay. I like people who are in the trenches. I like people who have firsthand experience working with actual people. Okay. Not just shooting videos, not just, sometimes when we're in this industry, we get disconnected from the person who's trying to get started today, the person who's trying to make a decision about what company they want to align themselves with. Because I think, Ricardo, and I think you'd agree with this, that, it, although it's cliche, our net worth really is dependent upon our network. And I want to tell your story by how I know it, and it's very quickly, and then I want to ask you some questions. So few years ago now, Ricardo basically relocated his entire family to come up and work alongside of myself here and help to grow and expand Legendary Marketer. And I believe, Ricardo, you live down in South Florida, right?
Yes, I was in Homestead, Florida.
Okay, so this was 5-6 hours away. This is down by Miami. We're up here in St. Petersburg, around the Tampa Bay area. And not very often that you have somebody who's willing, who has that much dedication, who wants to be aligned with the people who he thinks is hidden in his best interest to further his life, his career, his family. But Ricardo, you did that. Tell me what was going through your head and what you kind of, your mentality, how you approached when we started working together. I don't see that often, so I want to try to get inside your head a little bit.
So what I wanted to do is, so of course, surround myself with successful people. You being one of them, and your story. We met at a network marketing event, and at that time, I said, I got to meet this guy. So I remember giving you a phone call and say, hey, can we do something together? Maybe create something bigger than what we got going on. Sharing our resources and skill sets. And so that was my mentality from the get go, to partner with somebody to create something special and reach more people than doing it on our own.
Yeah.
So when the opportunity presented itself, I would say we kind of created the opportunity to make it happen. And that's how it came about. That was my mindset through that process.
Not a lot of people are willing to go to those lengths. Some people are not even willing to watch some videos or finish through something that they purchased on the internet. You being somebody who was willing to literally geographically relocate to be closer to the hub, closer to the heart of the project, of the business that you were working on. what is it like for you interacting with clients and students on a daily basis? Of course, having empathy and understanding that, hey, I get it, I understand where you're at, I can understand where you're at, but also trying to get them to grasp the fact. I was watching the Michael Jordan documentary, and he was talking about what it takes
Mhm.
to win and what it takes to be great. How do you help people to begin to see what it really takes to be great and to be win? And by the way, you're a top producer, somebody who is absolutely crushes it in everything that you do, marketing and sales wise. So you have the winning, I guess, credentials to back up what you're actually talking about. So you have the experience of coaching people. You also have the experience of winning yourself, being a top producer. So how do you help people kind of see that I get this is what you're used to doing, but I also know what it takes for you to win? And how do you get them to trust, or what do you say to them to begin to realize, hey, this is what it takes if you want to win?
Well, first of all, it goes back to the beginning of when that decision was made after spending 30 days with you in the corporate office, shadowing you to make sure that who you are as a person, and that's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And your credentials and your integrity, all of that was important to me. So once I understood what I have in my hands and how powerful this is, it makes it easy to talk to someone and say, "Oh my God, you are in a good place," and I want to tell you everything, but I can't. I have to give it to you piece by piece. And I think as a business plan advisor, that's one of the challenges that me personally, that I go through. That you know, delivering that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you just found the answer. Wait till you see this. It's gonna change your life, right?
Yeah.
So understanding what I have, it's kind of like having the cure for your financial situation. So in my mind, I put myself in like a doctor mentality kind of way. So when they come with their issues, right, the customer, and first I find out what happened. What happened to you that made you wake up and say, I have to do something different. I can't leave my life like this anymore. I have to change. I have to, provide better for my family. So something triggered that thought. So when they come here, right, that thought made them go on Google and say, hey, I need to find something better. So once I get that information, and I understand, I feel bad that I'm sorry that you're going through that, right? And I gather that information, and then from there, I find out what have they tried, why haven't they made it work, what was their biggest struggles, right, that still haven't made it work. So I do have the answer in the end, but I want to hear from them and I feel them. I want to empathize with them. And when you do that, you feel the energy connecting, like I'm actually listening, and I am listening to them. And sometimes it could be overwhelming on my end, listening to stories like, man, he's going through some tough times. And I feel that. And sometimes if you're not careful as a business plan advisor, you can get depressed a little bit, right? But I always focus on what I'm providing in the end that alleviates those thoughts of me feeling bad as well. So once we entertain that, what they have tried, what they struggle with, and then what's the have been their experience, what do they feel we can help them, and then I transition to start giving them a solution,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people come here, they don't really know if this is possible. Yes,
Right.
they want the time freedom, the financial freedom, all
Right.
this stuff, but they don't believe it's possible. They're
Right.
not sure. That's
Right.
what they want. So once I give them that answer, I transition their mindset. Say, look, this is how it's possible. This is
Sure.
how you can get it. And then in the end, we do a little exercise to show them that if this was a scenario, right, they see themselves actually the future pacing, like, wow, this is now I really believe it's possible, because in a scenario I would do that. I
Yeah.
can do that. I have the power within me to make it happen.
Sure.
So and that's the answer. That's how you take the person from one place, from not knowing if it's possible, to wow, here it's possible. And one more thing, Dave, I want to say is that people, in sales, there's a saying in sales, if people bought what they need, we'll be in a recession, right? I mean, if they bought what they need, but most people buy what they want in the sales industry. But here, you need this. You need the education. You need the skills. And that's what makes this so special, because once you learn the skills and implement and all this stuff, that's the answer. That's when things starts changing, when they start implementing and eventually seeing the results.
You make, obviously everything is sales, and I mean, guys, we teach business marketing and sales, so of course we make recommendations to clients who come through about other programs that we offer. We don't hide that, but we only sell something to people if it's a good fit. However, you are able to introduce a lot of people to the next level, and it's getting them to invest time, money, and actually, I think, to believe that they can actually do it. I think that that's one of the biggest. When I've always said in sales or in marketing, we're giving people an opportunity to make a powerful decision to say yes to themselves. And I think for us, what I wholeheartedly believe is, if anybody ever says, no, I don't want to learn from Legendary or with Legendary, it doesn't have anything to do with us, because our track record, now we've got so many success stories, we've got so many people who have come through, we've got so many people who are taking and getting immediate action. We just keep improving our programs to help people get faster results, quicker, better. It's just constantly improving because we never settle. But it's like, if somebody says no to me, I wholeheartedly believe that, similar to what you said, they just don't believe that it's possible for them, right? So what I've realized myself is that we're working and battling with people's self-esteem, their old limiting beliefs, their stories that they've been telling themselves. Well, maybe so-and-so can do it, but that's not going to be possible for me. So how do you, somebody who is obviously, me, I'm not a psychologist. We don't pretend to be. We don't play one on TV. But so many people come here, they think they need to learn where to click, where to point. We teach them that. But they also, many people say, well, I don't want to have a brainwashing, but they need a brainwashing. They need to understand the dynamics. How do you balance between helping people to learn the mechanics, but also understanding the dynamics, understanding this really is a mental game?
At first, I always encourage them to work on their mindset. Always encourage them to maybe read a book that improves their mindset. And what helps me, for example, I listen to one book every 2 weeks. So I am constantly feeding my mindset.
I know you are, because you're sharing, you're sending me little things that you're working on and sharing, things that you're going through. So I can validate that. I know that about you.
Yeah, so I have a whole list of books that I read, but it's to how to make me better, to serve you, the customer.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's some words that I can say, or phrase that can trigger like an aha moment for you, right? So you can know that, this could be possible for you. So your mindset have to be clear that you can do this, and the mechanics is just trivial stuff. Anybody can learn mechanics. But it's your mindset, it's that belief. Belief is key. If you believe that you can do it, it's so cliche, that quote. If you believe that you can, if you can't, you can't.
Right.
But
if you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah, but it's the belief that for you to feel those feelings that, hey, this is actually happening, and sometimes that can be stressful for some people. Because it's like, hey, it's happening. Oh my God! Like, I'm scared now. Hold on, I didn't know it was gonna be like this, and it could be a trigger. This is why people feel afraid of success, once they feel that it's possible, that they can do this. So we try to let them know, say, hey, we're gonna take this one bite at a time. Relax. Let's do this first. And the good thing about Legendary Marketers, we take you a step-by-step process so you don't get overwhelmed. Yeah. And people, once they understand that, it's like, okay, it's safe to go to that next step little by little, and that's how I help them transition.
I feel in my heart, after getting to know you now for many years, that you are a loyal guy, but I believe that you're loyal to values more than you're loyal to people, meaning that if all of a sudden tomorrow I started stealing from people, you wouldn't be loyal to me anymore. You're loyal to me, but you're loyal to, I believe, and you tell me, I believe that you're loyal to values. I believe that you're loyal to people because they have certain values. So I want to ask you, what has made you and kept you loyal here in an industry where people jump around so much? One month they're doing this thing, the next month they're doing that thing. You've been here working with students and clients in the trenches, helping people break through, really working and doing a great job with our clients here in such a profound way. What has made you stay? What has kept you here? What has made you loyal? Why? Why have you been here for so long doing what you do?
Well, it goes back to what I was doing prior to this, doing consultant training, different sales teams and different companies. I was making great money, but it once the dust settled, I was not part of. I didn't feel part of something special. So yes, I traveled everywhere. Yes, I spoke. Yes, I was hired to train a bunch of sales teams. But when I came home, it's okay. Now what? Another company, another client calls me, and right. So I just wanted to be part of something special. So, my last event was the one when I met you, and I'm like, man, I need to be part of something special. Then we had lunch in a mom and pop Mexican restaurant. That was pretty cool, and we talked. And then a year later, you launched Legendary Marketer. And I'm like, hey man, why you didn't call a brother, right? So we we connected again, and what made me loyal is spending 30 days and observing you. I was just literally observing you, how you handle yourself, how you treat people, how you treated me, you know. And so I just wanted to be once at the end. I just want to be a part of that. You actually made me feel like I need to do something. I need to be better. Anybody that's surrounded by you, but that was my feeling anyway. I felt like I need to up my game. This guy is making me feel like I need to do better as a person, right? And I never forgot that feeling. And it was not something said. It's just the energy, right? So once that took place, this is what made me want to be here because of that. And what you have put together, I know is helping people. I mean, we see all the results, and that doesn't lie. We see the results. So when you have something amazing, it's kind of like having the cure for something, like the COVID now, right? If you had the cure, it's like, man, I got the cure. You're in a good place. Wait till you see this, right? And it just makes it easy. The enthusiasm, the posture comes out like you're in a good place. Wait till you see how we're gonna help you.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me be loyal.
Yeah.
That's what makes me, stay here. It's because I know I'm changing someone's life and I'm here. I can see them again. It's not like, all right, I helped you, moving on to another company. Yes, they'll pay me freaking thousands of dollars, but it's not the money. Is am I making a difference as a person? And from the December 21st will be my third year here. But from that my first year to today to this year, I know I'm a different person. I changed so much from being, who I was to who I am today. Is crazy. And I'm like, wow. I'm more like, hey, I have nothing but love for you and your family. Let me help you. Here's how we're gonna help you. Here's how we're gonna do it. And I just gotta project that energy and those feelings to our clients.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me loyal to be here.
Well, man, I want to just tell you that you're somebody who I feel comfortable as an extension of me, of Legendary, somebody who I feel comfortable and proud to be aligned with, because I know that when you give somebody a suggestion, and believe you me, guys, anybody who's listening to this, these are not the normal conversations that we have. I mean, we have behind the scenes much more challenging, and as I call them, carefrontation conversations, because
Yeah.
it's not about confrontation. It's not about being mean or trying to bully people or like intimidate people. It's truly about, if you care enough about somebody, you'll tell them the things that are uncomfortable to say. You'll tell them the things that are uncomfortable to talk about. And so it's nice to be on here today and sort of, talk about the things that we're talking about on a different note. But I want to say that, what I love about you is that when I know that when you give a client a suggestion, when you give a client a piece of advice, when you share some of your expertise, you're not sharing something that you either haven't done or are not willing to do. You're not you're not sharing. You're not telling them to do something that's going to have them go and work harder than you work. And I like that. I love that, man. So, anyways, it's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for coming on today. Is there any final words that you would leave somebody if they stumbled upon this in the back office somewhere, if they just happen to be watching this show today for the very first time, that you would say?
Yeah, so I'll leave you with my famous. If anybody listens to my calls, this is why most of the time I would tell the client before I say goodbye, go watch The Offer. And I would say, I'll leave all you guys with this. Right now, there's 100,000 people in a stadium staring at an empty stage. What do you think they're waiting for? They're waiting for you. Where you at? Learn the skills. There are people waiting. Hey, man, where are you? Waiting for you, Dave. When are you going to get your act together? So I say to all you guys who is looking into investing in something like this, invest in your education. Because once you learn the skills, that's what's going to change your game. Where are you? People are waiting for you. And another thing, I tell them that, I tell them your story. He was homeless, heroin addict, right? And then I tell people, I said, look, what if they would have overdosed? He would not have impacted so many people, especially me, right? What if that would have happened, God forbid? But no, he got cleaned up. Clean up, let's go. Get it together, right? Get it together. You don't have to be down and out. You don't have to be against the wall. You don't have to be, against the ropes, so to speak. Fight now. Get it together now. People are waiting for you. Who knows who you're going to impact in the future? So with that, be legendary, my friends.
All right, brother. Man, that's powerful. All right, I'll talk to you later, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, my friends. Wow. Man, that just kind of takes me back to something that is a familiar thought of mine, and I've said that in the past too. And it also it reminds me of my story, because I think part of learning to sort of tell your story is similar to how I've learned to take my mess and turn it into a message. I believe, similar to how Ricardo just said, that there's customers, there's people out there who are waiting for you to hire them, who only you can reach. And I also believe this. I believe that not only are customers waiting for you to show up as your most powerful self, as the person that you were born to be, meant to be, that fulfills all your potential, but I also believe that your family's waiting for you to show up as the man or woman that you're meant to be, the most powerful version of yourself. I don't know. There's many people who have absolute concrete belief of what happens in the next lifetime or eternal life and all that stuff, and that's fantastic. But what I want to do is I want to focus on today. I want to focus on today, because I'm not scared of today. I'm not scared of personally showing up and striving to be my best self, the best version of me that I can be. Because when my daughter goes to sleep tonight, when my wife goes to sleep tonight, and when I lay my head on the pillow tonight, I know that if I do everything I can do today to be the best version of myself, if I'm humble, if I learn, if I apply myself, if I do everything that I can to give it my all, to leave my best on the field, then I can lay my head down at night knowing that I gave my family, I gave myself, I gave my clients the best that I had, right? And I didn't always do that. That took me to challenge myself. That took me to have honest, powerful conversations with people. That took me to seek and search out a place like Legendary Marketer and an advisor, a mentor, a friend like Ricardo, to be able to share with me some of those tough truths and say some of those things that my friends and family weren't willing to say to me, even though they loved me, even though they cared about me, even though they were my boys, my homeboys. They weren't willing to say those things that were going to help me the most. And you know what? Many of you know about my past and know that it wasn't all roses and running through flowers, holding hands, singing Kumbaya. I've got skeletons in the closet. I turned my mess into a message. But you know what? All those people who were my friends and homies and boys back in the day, you know what? When my ship started to sink, guess who was there to throw me a life raft? It wasn't any of them. So I also had to begin to question all the people in my life and ask myself, do these people really have my best interest in mind? And I think that's also the transformation that we take as entrepreneurs, as people who are going to now pursue our dreams and what's in our best interest. We're going to rethink everything, right? We're going to start cutting away the different pieces of our lives, people, places, and things that are not serving our best interest. And that's a tough decision, right? But it's what is going to help us to get to that place to where we can show up, like Ricardo talked about, on that stage or on that video or in that email or in that conversation, or just show up to my computer. Sometimes showing up to that stage with that 100,000 is just me showing up to my computer, getting ready to put in the work that day. That's going to result in a campaign, that's going to result in a sales funnel, that's going to result in an ad that's going to be seen by hundreds of thousands of people. See, today, we don't need to show up in an airplane and walk onto a stage to have our products and services seen by hundreds of thousands of people. We could just write an advertisement, right? And that's the cool thing about where we're at today. For you to be able to take advantage of these opportunities that are here today, no matter what's going on with the economy, no matter what's going on with the rest of the world, you really got to show up and align yourself, or at least you don't have to. We invite you to align yourself with us and let us help, let us guide, let us mentor, let us be a friend, let us support you on that journey to becoming your best self, to making the most money you've ever made, to making the most impact you've ever made. And also, I think really important, Tony Robbins said this many years ago. I heard it, always stuck with me, that people's happiness depend on their ability to feel like they're progressing. And I think that's a lot of what you heard Ricardo, who's somebody who is advising people every day, but is also in the background growing. And he's made a lot of money. I know. He's made a lot of money over the last several years. We pay him great. He makes a lot of money. But guess what? The thing that makes him the most happy is that feeling of learning, of growing, of progressing, right? So hopefully these are some important things for you to think about today as you make important decisions about your life and your business. Here's my hope for you: decide to say, screw being average. I want to be legendary. And being legendary is all about doing the things that other people are not willing to do so you can have the things that other people are not able to have. All right. With that being said, we'll be here every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Join us. Okay. Come back every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tune in. For now, be legendary. Peace.